Hi everyone, Ronnie here. So I had a bad day yesterday. Those of you that watch my channel know that I got a new house recently. I was really excited about having a glass cooktop. I thought, I won't have to take off the burners and clean the, or whatever, like I can just wipe it off. Well, it wasn't really what it was cracked up to be. Basically, it was kind of hard to clean, believe it or not. It was harder to clean than a regular stovetop. If food spilled on it, like it was too hot to try to wipe the food off and it would just kind of bake on there. I did find a pretty effective way to keep it clean. I would clean any baked on food with an SOS pad, and then I use the Pledge multi-surface antibacterial spray, and that did pretty well, especially if I used it every day. It was easier to maintain. But my husband and I both were, kind of surprised that it was harder to clean than we expected. So like I said, I had a bad day yesterday. I had put a mug in the microwave, and you know how sometimes, like, I don't know, some dishes or whatever, like the outside heats up and then the inside doesn't. So it took like a long time to bring the water to a boil, but the outside of the mug got really hot. So it was not an ideal, in hindsight, it was not an ideal mug to use in the microwave. Well, when I went to take the mug out, a couple seconds later, my body realized it was hot, kind of an involuntary reflex. I dropped the mug on the glass cooktop. And I probably only dropped the mug about 12 inches, but it shattered the cooktop, as if like it looks as if, it looks the way it looks when you drop a cell phone like face down on the asphalt. It just shattered.
So my stovetop is cracked. I have no idea how it happened. But I made breakfast on the burner that's cracked this morning. I made Rick some chicken fried rice with some leftovers, and afterwards I was cleaning off the stovetop, and it was then that I noticed that there was a crack on the stove. Let me show you what it looks like. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see it. Yeah, you can at this angle. Look at that. Cracked right across, and this is the main burner. You can see that there's two large burners in the front. This is the one to the left that I use probably the most. And it cracked all the way over. It actually cracks almost all the way up into this burner. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do about it. So here's the question. Do we repair it or do we buy a new one? Because if it's going to be several $100s to repair it, then may as well buy a new one. But then there's also this. Appliances are really hard to come by, but so are appliance parts. And if I can get a whole appliance very quickly versus waiting several weeks on an appliance part, and there's not that much difference in price, then again, it's probably worthwhile to me to have a brand new appliance. So an update, I'm sitting here at the computer. I have watched videos. I feel very confident that I could replace the stovetop myself. However, here's the problem. Even if I could buy it, it's like $250 for the part alone, plus shipping. And everywhere is out of stock, which I had heard that people were out of stock on both appliances and appliance parts, but this is the first time I've ever had to actually deal with it.
Take our lead, let's help you make your mark. Our goal is your satisfaction. Let us show you the way.
What pans should not be used on a glass top stove? In order to avoid damaging your glass top stove, you should avoid pots and pans made from glass, stoneware, traditional ceramic, and cast iron that has not been crafted to be compatible with glass top stoves.
Hi, I'm Lou with some surprising and useful information that I learned the hard way. If you have a glass top stove, never put aluminum foil on the burner because it will bond to the top and you can't get it off. That's right, I'm going to be buying a new cooktop soon.
A Glendale woman says she is fighting a losing battle with one of the biggest retailers around. We're talking about Sears.
Yeah, but just when she thought she'd lost the fight, she contacted 300 Sides' Gary Harper for help.
This all has to do with a Kenmore oven that's just around a year and a half old. Now, when it broke, this consumer says she got blamed for breaking it, but she says that's not true at all.
So this is dinner, crock pot cooking at its best.
Monica Durham likes to cook, but without a stove, she's resorted to all kinds of clever ways of coming up with meals, including boiling water on her outdoor grill.
More grilling, more crock pot, trying to serve them healthy meals, but it's harder. I need a stove.
Monica says she has to cook this way because her Kenmore glass top stove recently stopped working. That's because the glass top unexpectedly cracked and splintered in all different directions.
And I heard that loud pop. The sound of breaking glass is kind of unmistakable.
The stove was purchased from Sears about a year and a half ago, and Monica even bought an extended warranty. So when the